President Franklin D. Roosevelt, or FDR, won the election of 1932. Within his first 100 days in office, FDR pushed 15 major bills through Congress. These bills were designed to reshape the economy and rebuild confidence in the banking system. To help America's confidence, FDR reached out to the public using the radio. On March 12, 1933, just 8 days after his inauguration, FDR made a public announcement to the American people. This was the first of many talks called fireside chats. Each week, thousands listened to Roosevelt. FDR used simple language to ensure all people would understand. Throughout his chats, he would use phrases like, "my friends," and he would refer to the listeners as "you," as if he was addressing them personally.
My friends, I want to talk for a few minutes with the people of the United States about banking. I want to tell you what has been done in the last few days and why it was done and what the next steps are going to be. First of all, let me state the simple fact that when you deposit money in a bank, the bank does not put the money into a safe deposit vault. The bank puts your money to work to keep the wheels of industry and of agriculture turning round.
The first major bill passed was the Emergency Banking Relief Act on March 6, 1933. This bill shut down banks for 4 days. This was done to assure Americans that it was safe to keep money in banks. Banks make money through investments into the economy. A person puts money in their bank account, and the bank will invest that money into stocks and new businesses. Profits are returned to the bank, and the person gains a percentage as interest, and the bank makes money. However, after the stock market crash, people feared the banks. There were very little regulations on investments, and banks sometimes lost money, meaning people could not take money out of their savings accounts. After the stock market crash, people began to hide money in mattresses, or bury it in the backyard. These actions did not help the economy. Roosevelt's New Deal programs brought regulations to businesses and banks, controlling investments. FDR also continued and expanded public works programs started under Herbert Hoover. FDR demonstrated great confidence. However, he was also physically prevented from taking too many actions. In the 1920s and the 1930s, people suffered from polio, a disease that paralyzed thousands and impacted vital organs. Children couldn't walk, and some were put into iron lungs. FDR also suffered from polio. Although he lost use of his legs, he never let the public see this problem. Using personal aids and leg braces, FDR appeared normal when making public addresses. Eleanor, Franklin's wife, became the eyes and ears of the president. Eleanor Roosevelt was the niece of President Theodore Roosevelt and was a fifth cousin of Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin was the governor of New York, and Eleanor was a school teacher when they were married. As First Lady, she revolutionized her role in the public. Children saw her as a mother figure. Many children wrote letters to Mrs. Roosevelt, asking for money, basic household items, and sharing their concerns. Eleanor used these letters to help FDR draft laws and programs that would help those suffering. Eleanor Roosevelt was active with charity groups. One of the most influential was the March of Dimes. Originally designed to help fund research to cure polio, today it serves as a charity to help serve the health of mothers and infants. With funds raised, a vaccine was eventually developed for polio by Dr. Jonas Salk in the 1950s. Roosevelt's first 100 days was critical to the economy. With his New Deal programs, the fireside chats, and his wife Eleanor as his eyes and ears, America's confidence in the banks began to increase.